All right, welcome back to day two of the Python basics, or part two of the Python basics. One second. Not right now. You don't need all your candy right this second. Okay. We did day one. We're gonna do day two. Let's set up the project first. So we're gonna create a new project. Um, we're gonna do a Python application. Next, we want this to be named Advent 2015.day 2, and because we're doing it in Python, we want to make sure it's in py. Find our folder. I save mine on my Z drive, advent of code. So you see my day 1 Python. This is my day 2 Python. We're going to select this folder, create it. Okay, boom, boom. I'm still going to add the folder for data, and I'm still going to add a data text file. Add new item. Again, it creates the empty file. That's good. Let's read our problem. That's day 1. Sorry. Events 2015 day 2. As before, I've already done these in C#, so yeah, they're already completed. So this time the elves are running low on wrapping paper, so they need to submit an order for more. They have a list of the dimensions, length, width, and height of each present. They only want to order exactly as much as they need. Unfortunately, every present is a box, so it's the perfect right angle prism, which makes calculating the required wrapping paper for each gift a little easier. You want to find the surface area of the box, which is 2 length by 2, or 2 length width by plus 2 width height plus 2 height length. So that's, you got 2 front facing, two of the same size. One's front facing, one's back facing. Then you got a top facing and bottom facing, and then you got a left facing and right facing. That's why the 2. So you have 2. This length width is the left right. Width height is top bottom. Height length is front back. All right. Now they need a little extra paper for each present. The area of the smallest size. So that means we're going to have to figure out which one's smallest and which one's largest, and the middle one for each of these. So that's going to be important. For example, a present with dimensions 2, 3, 4 will need 2 times 6 plus 2 times 12 plus 2 times 8, 52, but also needs an additional 6 because the smallest side is 6. Okay, so that's a total of 58. Present with dimensions 1 by 1 by 10 will need 2 plus 2 times 1 plus 2 times 10 plus 2 times 10 is 42 plus an additional 1 for a total of 43. Now all the numbers in the elves list are in feet. How many total square feet of wrapping paper should they order? So let's get our puzzle input. All right, we'll put that in our text file. Oops. There we go. Okay, good there. So we can close that one out. We're done there. What do we need to do? Well, we need to read the file again, just like we did in day 1. So we're going to do instructions, or this time we're going to call it dimensions, or we'll call it presents. Equals open f data dot txt. It's interesting that I capitalized it last time and it still read the lowercase. Most languages are case sensitive in that manner, but apparently Python is not. Not instructions, sorry. Presents equals presents dot read. Okay, so that opens our presents file and reads it. So from this point, I'm going to do a little bit of MVC style design, just because from a principle standpoint, it's a better way to do it. You can do all this in one line, in one class. It's simple enough; it wouldn't be a problem. But I'm not going to do that just because I don't want to I don't want to promote simplistic design choices. So what are we going to need for this? We're going to need a model. Well, it should be models. And we need a Python file in there that is called, what are we going to call it? Well, it's a present. The present has dimensions. So we're going to call it present.py. Okay. In order to use that class, we're going to have to import it. So we're going to do import models. Oh my God, can I type today? Dot present. And we want to import it as a simpler name, so we're going to do present, or just PR. We'll just do it as PR. So that will import this model type. Okay. So what kind of model, or what kind of thing do we want this model to do? Well, this is going to contain our information on, actually we don't need to import that here. I'll show you why we don't need to import that here. We will need to import it in another file, but not here. Wait. No, we will. We will need to import it here. Okay. Sorry, sidetracked. We want it to be a class that contains the dimensions of the present. So we're going to need like height, or what we'll need a shortest length, longest, and middle length. Okay. Pull that up. Python namespaces. I'm just looking to see if Python has public. Doesn't look like it has public. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay. Or maybe it does and I just don't notice. So we're going to name this class present. We want to have in the present, we're going to have a short length, medium length, and a long length. Okay, and that's all we're going to do here. So this is going to contain the data for each present. It's going to be short, medium, or long length. All right. Next, we want to have a factory. The factory is going to take our string of present data and turn it into a present object. Okay, so we're going to do factory, factories, and we're going to do a new Python item here. We're going to call it present factory. So we know it's a present factory. Now what present factory is going to do, we need to import models present as per. So we need to import this present object that we created. But we also need to, hang on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take in a list of present strings, and we're going to turn those present strings into present objects and kick those present objects back out. Okay, so what we want to do is parse to present, I guess. And we're going to take in, what did I say? We're going to take in a string. How does Python do string array? I think you can do it like that. I could be very wrong. That's not what I'm looking for. Maybe I don't need to cast it. Oh, hang on. I need to reference another project I had worked on. I can't remember if I have to cast it or not, or what I need to do. Oh, def. Def. Okay, so I'm not sure what def is. I think it just assigns it as a function. So we're going to do for I in presence. So what this is going to do is for each item that is passed into the presence field, we're going to do this thing. So first we want to create a new I think oh, that's kind of dumb. It's weird that okay. So I'm going to create a new list, and it's not passing anything into it apparently. Stop. Okay. Okay, so for each item in presence, we're going to do I dot split, and we're going to split it on X. What that does is it takes each of these dimensions and it should split it on this X. And so that creates an array. So I need to have something equal that. Let's go. We'll do the dimensions equals I dot split X. So we now have a new array that has the dimensions for I dot split X, which is the 3 different dimensions in the present. Now what you want to do is you want to find the like which one is that? Is that the long length? Is that the short length? Is that the middle length? There's a couple ways you can do this. I prefer to just write it out. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to do how do I want to do this? Equals, and then I'm going to create a new method. So I'm creating an item that has present. It's going to come out as a present object. So I'm going to create a new method. I'm going to create a method called fill present, and I'm going to pass in dimensions. Okay. Oops. Now this is where I'm going to get my short and long figured out and put it in the present object and kick it back. So I'm going to add that present that comes back to the list. So I'm going to do list dot append. In C# it's dot add, and then we're going to add present. And then we're just going to return list. Okay, so what we're going to do here now that we have our dimensions, we're going to go for if dimensions at space 0 is less than, I can't do is less than. So is less than dimensions at space 1 and dimensions at space 0 is less than dimensions at space 2. I'm going to do less than or equals, just because what if there's two that are the same? So if it's less than or equal to both of those, we're going to do pr.present dot short. Oh, why can't I do short length? I might have to assign pre-assign them. Short length, there we go. Now it's there. Equals dimensions at 0. So if 0 is shorter than the other two, then assign present short length 0, right? So if that's the shortest, then if dimensions at position 1 is less than or equal to dimensions at position 2, you're going to assign pr dot present dot medium as dimensions at position 1 and pr dot present dot long. Is it long? What is it? Oh my god, I hate autofill in Python. Dot long equals dimensions at position 2. Okay, so far, if this is the shortest, if 0 is the shortest, it's going to assign that to short, and then it checks if that one's medium, and assigns medium. Now, we're going to do else. I think it's elif. Yeah, it's elif. So elif dimensions at position 2 is less than or equal to dimensions at position 1, then we're going to do the other way around. Present dot medium length equals dimensions at position 2 and pr dot present dot long equals dimensions at position 1. Okay, so I'm still working in, if this is the shortest, then that's going to set the shortest. But inside of that, then we're finding which one's the next shortest, and assigning there. So now we just need to do this for all of the other possibilities. So you can only have two, or there's only three possibilities. Either position 0 is the shortest, position 1 is the shortest. So in this case, you're going to switch all the zeros for ones and all the ones for zeros. Okay. 0 and 0. Okay, so now we're looking at, well, if the position 1 is the shortest, then do the things with setting short to 1 and checking for the next shortest. And then we're going to do position 2, which is same thing. You're going to switch all the zeros for 2s and all the 2s for zeros. And oops, that one should be 0. Now, once it's run all those checks, all you got to do is return pr.present. That might be wrong. Hang on. Let's check it real quick. I feel like that's wrong. Press any T. Oh, I didn't even. So I'm going to have to import factories dot, or factories as fac. Okay. And then we're going to do fac dot should be dot present factories. Present, there we go. Dot fill presence. Okay, so that should work. Let's see where we're at. pr.present x42. Why is that one x? So the first data file should be 42321, and I'm getting my values as 4, 2. Do I not get my split properly? Let's check and see if I get my split properly first. So my dimensions is x split. Oops, need a break before that. What? Why didn't it hit here? Oh, I'm filling presents. I'm not. I don't want fill presents. I want parse. That's why. Because my parse calls the fill. And it didn't do anything. Why didn't it stop here? Oh, that's why. I killed away my pass in. Okay, so my dimensions should be 4, 4. This should have returned an array, not just a single. Okay. It's not splitting up into new lines. Okay. Let's do. Let's do. And I think we need to split it on. I think we need to split it on new line, which is /n. And then, so instead of present, it should be list, present list. That should split it up better. So for I in present list, I is, oh, again, this is why I hate not having autofill. Okay, so my dimensions this time should be, yes, 42321, which means that at the end of this, I should have, excuse me, yep, my long length is 4, what is? My short length should be 4. So let's look at this. Okay, so I'm going to continue to here. So if dimensions at 0, so dimensions at 0 was the shortest. Is less than or equal to dimensions at 1, and dimension 0 less than or equal to 2. I bet you it's because they're not. How do I int parse? Dun, dun, dun. Oh. Can I do it here is the question. Can I parse it as an int here, so that way when I pass it, it will set them as, must be int argument string. Map. They have a map. Oh, well, I can break this into two pieces at least, and not have to write a whole bunch of random code. So the problem is my dimensions are coming in as a string. So when it's comparing them their string binary value to each other instead of comparing the actual number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert them from the string to numbers before I pass them into to be filled in the present. So dimensions numeric dimensions equals, and there's a map function that makes this easier. So I'm going to do map. I'm going to turn them into int, and I'm going to turn. What am I turning into int? I'm turning dimensions into int. And so I'm going to pass in my numeric dimensions. Okay, let's see if this works. So dimensions has them. You see how they're quoted? That's signifies that they're not actually numbers. Now, if you look at my numeric dimensions, I'm probably going to have a problem, I think. I bet you I'm going to have a problem. Did I not? Numeric dimensions is not defined. Oh, ha! I put numeric. Okay, so I'm going to pass in my numeric dimensions. Alright, so this time, hopefully, which didn't work. Map is not subscriptable. I have to convert it back into list. List is not callable. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to skip all this. I'm going to do it the easy way that I know how. Instead of trying to use their built-in stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do x equals dimensions at space 0, but I'm going to int parse it in the process of assigning. So int y equals int parse dimensions at space 1. And then I'm gonna z equals int parse dimensions at space 2. Okay, and then I'm just gonna switch all of this with their corresponding letter now. So anywhere that it was 0, it's now going to be X. Okay, and then anywhere that it's 1, it's now going to be Y. Oop, I missed a 0. And then anywhere that it's 2 is going to be Z. Missed that one too. Oh, I missed a lot of the 0 ones. Okay, let's take a look at that. All right. But that gives me my numbers. Yeah, perfect. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna pass, and then my present object should be long length, medium length, short length. Cool, perfect. Let's go back out here. Now our list should contain okay, so our first one in here is that, yep, 423.20 or 421.23. Okay, so that works. I'm going to take out these breakpoints now, and I can just come back to the actual file and stop it here so I can see what all my presents are. Oh, it's not going to return anything. Anyway. All right, this is where I'm going to take a short break. I need to go deal with my infant waking up. I will be back later to finish this out. So, sorry for fumbling around a little bit. Still getting a little bit used to some of the Python stuff. So, see you guys in a little while. Okay. Sorry again for the delay. Been digging for a while, and I figured out what my problem was. So, in this portion, I wasn't creating an instance of the present class. What I was doing is I was I was basically creating an inherited present class that it wasn't instantiated. So every time I did anything to it, it would update it in everything that was pointed to it. So what I did is I created a variable that was a new version of the class. and I removed the direct pointer. So it used to be like pr dot present, and that would, so it would set up the exact object. Okay, so now that I've done that, now that I've fixed that, let's take out my breakpoints, because I haven't really tested it yet to run the actual full thing. But having fixed that, I should still have 1598415. 1598415. Oh my goodness. Such relief. I've been digging for like an hour just to realize that I didn't create a new instance. Oh, that's so annoying. Why do I do this to myself? Okay, so part one's done. Part two, so part two, we're also running low on ribbon. Ribbon is all the same width, so they have to worry about they only have to worry about the length they need to order, which they would like to be exact. Blah, blah, blah. So the ribbon required to wrap a present is the shortest distance around its sides or the smallest perimeter of any one face. So perimeter is top plus, top plus side plus bottom plus side. So it'll be 2 times the top bottom and 2 plus 2 times the left right, right? So if your present's 2 by 3 by 4, like I said, 2 2s and 3 3s, or 2 3s. Okay. However, the feet of ribbon required for the perfect bow is equal to the cubic feet of volume present. So don't ask how they tie the bow, they'll never tell. So the cubic feet of volume, you just multiply all 3 sides. Okay, 2 by 3 by 4. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our services. Even though it's a surface area service, I'm still going to use it. I'm going to def a find ribbon, find perimeter and volume. And we're going to take P. This is, like I said, this is going to be super simple. So what we want to do is find perimeter equal, which is P dot short length times 2 plus P dot medium length also times 2. Okay, and then we find volume, which is, I don't need a parentheses, P dot short length times P dot medium length times P dot long length. Okay. And then we're going to return, well, I'm just going to, for good practice, ribbon equals perimeter plus volume. Okay, and then we're going to return ribbon. Okay, so let's go back to our main here. So while we're passing in, let's also do ribbon. Ribbon equals serve dot find perimeter and volume. Oops. Find perimeter dot find perimeter and volume. And we're going to pass in, again, we're going to just pass in P. And then we're just going to add our print. The total amount of ribbon needed is ribbon. And that should be the end of it. We should be done with part 2. Well, maybe if I could freaking type correctly. $12.97 feet. Am I right? Oh, no. I am not right, because what I didn't do is I didn't do, so total ribbon equals 0. Total ribbon plus equals ribbon. What I didn't do is I didn't add it to the total collection. So let's see what my wife is telling me. Okay, 3812909. Where'd my puzzle answer go? Answer. Okay, 3812909. Oh, finally, after lots of digging and realizing that I'm just an idiot, got it figured out. So, thanks for watching part 2. We'll see you for part 3. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, interact, so that way I can see that people are enjoying it and I can do more. Thanks. Bye.